Hello. Okay. Welcome to the Fall Plenty Crochet Earring Along. No. Fall Plenty Earring Crochet Along. Ta-da! Much better. I finally got rid of all of my kids and the dog got fed, so no one is walking in here and no one is barking at me at the moment. That doesn't mean that they won't be back to do that any second. Who knows? Let's see. This is a new way to go live for me, so I'm just gonna scroll down and look at all of the options I have here. I can have, I don't know that I've gone live from my computer before. That's new. So, okay, fancy that. All right, so the ebook is up and available, and if you have had a chance to download that yet, we would love to hear what you think about this format of having all of the patterns compiled into one book. Let us know. Um, we don't have to do it that way, but I think it gives a nice finished product. So let us know if you like it that way. You can give critical feedback as well. Critical? No, critical? Yeah. Let us know if there's something that you don't like about it, because we aim to please. So, we're going to actually start crocheting on September 21st. So you've got some time to gather your supplies, to peruse the book, to pick if you want to do every single pattern in the same order that we're doing them, or if you want to skip around, or if you want to just do certain ones at this time. It's up to you. A lot of freedom in the crochet along. Things that you will definitely need for the crochet along. You're definitely going to need some size 10 cotton crochet thread. I designed mine and then I made up all the samples using the Curio 10 from We Crochet or from Knit Picks, either one. But use what you've got on hand, use what you have available at the stores near you, or like I always say, if you're not ready to jump into crocheting with thread, don't feel threatened, don't feel like you can't participate. Start where you're comfortable. If you have some worsted weight and you have only ever used worsted weight, get worsted weight and get the smallest hook that you can manipulate your stitches with, probably 3 or 3.5, depending on the thickness of your worsted weight. And try the patterns with that. And then you can go down from there. You do not have to use a 1.75 millimeter hook and the tiny thread that we do. We've been crocheting with thread for a long time, and it does take some getting used to. But you can get there if you want to. You don't have to. You can do these same patterns with yarn and tighter stitches, and you can still get a really lovely result. Okay. I do want to highly recommend that whether you use yarn or thread, that you get some Stiffen Quick spray or some other type of stiffening spray. It's really going to help your piece keep its shape, whether you use it for earrings or an ornament or some other purpose. It gives it a nice finished look. It helps it keep its shape, and it's gonna result in something that lasts longer. So I recommend Stiffen Quick. Aileen's Stiffen Quick spray. I usually grab mine at Joann's. I've also seen it on Amazon. You may be able to find it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but I haven't had any luck getting it there. Um, that's what I know. Let's see, what else do you need? You'll need a needle, gotta weave in ends. Um, for the most part, you just have one end to weave in, and some of them, like in the Astana, I just hid my end right in the middle of that since it's like it's a round, so, and it's seamed at the bottom, so I just put my needle through and hid my end in there and then snipped it off on the other side. So you don't have a lot of ends to weave. Mine has two colors, but in all the places I could, I crocheted over the ends so that I would just have that final end to weave in. I highly recommend doing things like that. Um, let's look at the first earring. I hope you're going to be able to see this. Hi, I cannot angle it. There we go. Look at how cute that earring is. So that's the Framed Blooms by Natalia of Natali's Crochet, Natali's Design. You guys, I'm having a hard time remembering things. My birthday is tomorrow. I'm turning 46, so I'm allowed to forget things. There you go. But I just think that this earring is so lovely and sweet, and it's the perfect earring for us to start with. We're focusing on cluster stitches in this earring, and the petals of the framed blooms are made with the cluster stitches, and it it just goes together so sweet. You're crocheting along, you're like, oh, this is cute, and then you get to the last round and you're like, oh, this is stunning. So I'm telling you, when you get to that last round, the frame, it just makes the whole earring pop. You're gonna love it. I guarantee it. This would be a great one since it's so tiny. This would be a great one to start out with a larger yarn and hook. Um, so if you are intimidated by thread crochet, do the first earring with us, make it in whatever you've got on hand that you feel comfortable with and that you can get some pretty tight stitches with. And I think you're still going to be really pleased with the result and even pleased to wear it as an earring. This is just a 1-inch earring with the size 10 thread. So even if it turned out like 2 inches, that's still not a very big earring. It wouldn't be too clunky. If you had some really pretty yarn, I highly recommend. In fact, I'm probably going to make this in at least in Curio 3 and maybe in something bigger just to see how much I love it. This is another one ooh, sorry, got a little crazy. You're still here, right? Um, that size would be perfect for stitch markers. I'm telling you, I've got a little baggie down here of the closing earring clasps that I have been meaning to make stitch markers with. And I think that this earring would be great for that as well. So that's the first earring that we've got up in our crochet along. The second earring is, I'm trying to put it on this board so that you can see it better, but I'm also afraid that it's going to go flying off. But it's kind of felt, so I think it will stay on if I can get my hooks out of the way. Okay, so this is my, there, light Kenta. Good enough. This is the Leanda earring from Ruthie. It's focusing on puffs and peacoats, and I think that it's just lovely and with so many options. So Ruthie gives us several different ways that we can hang the earring. I just did mine out of the Magic Circle Center. but there are a lot of options, and you can see them in Ruthie's feed or in the ebook. There's a photo that has a bunch of different options. And I think that this is just a really nice way to ease yourself in. Again, it's not too big, so you could make this with a larger thread or yarn and still get a pretty normal sized earring out of this. It wouldn't be too huge. And if you hang it from that tip, so it was kind of going long, that might look really, really cute. That is earring number 2, puffs and peacoats, and options, different ways to hang it. You can use a stud and do some dangles with it. Lots of fun, super fun. All right, our third earring, this one's heavier. I don't know if it's gonna stay on my little felt board. Please stay. Our third earring is from Priscilla of Mother Lode Crafts, and it is focusing on amigurumi and joining techniques. It's actually 3 pieces in one for the earring. And Priscilla also tells us how to add beads to it. Let me show you. All right, so there's, oh, yeah, they went flying. But you saw them, right? Good. All right, so that one has a leaf. So there's my leaf, there's the back of my leaf, a pumpkin, and a little mum flower that are put together to make this cute little fall cluster. Really fun. And then you can add beads to it. You can do the pieces separately. You can put them together. So again, it's one that's got options. I hope you guys are not asking me questions because I can see nothing. If you ask me questions, I don't know if I'll see them, but I'll, come back later and answer them if you ask any. Feel free to ask questions, which I will not see. Ta-da. All right. I love the leaf for this pattern. I am probably going to remake this with a larger size thread. I will probably use the Curio 3 because I've got a ton of that, and just have the leaves without the mum and the pumpkin, because I love the leaf pattern. The way that she designed it, it's just lovely. I think you guys are going to like it too. So that's another fun one, amigurumi and joining. The next earring that we'll be working on is the Lorelei. This one is from Ashley of Wish Upon a Hook, and it's spectacular, you guys, spectacular. And our technique for this one is strategic blocking. So making the earring, and then how do we block it to get the shape that we want? So this one, we've blocked to have an oval shape, and I just think it's so stunning. This is a total statement earring. I was wearing them earlier today, and I love them. I like my earrings. I like to make a statement with my earrings. My statement is crochet earrings. They're awesome. But this does that in spades. So I love this one. It's going to be a fun one for you to work up. This would be a great one to work up for an ornament as well. So if you wanted to make this one in a larger size thread or yarn, it would make a great ornament. And you can block it so that it's round. It doesn't have to be oval. So that's another option. I love options. All right. The 5th earring in our book is the Astana earring from Sarah Korth of SEK Handmade, and I have made mine in the turmeric colorway. Oops, it went flying too. It's a good concept to hold it up on the felt board, but so this one, we are learning the crossed single crochet in this. You might also have heard of the yarn under single crochet. So this one is super fun. You're gonna love it. I highly recommend that you make this one during daylight hours if you use thread. Or if you're younger than I am and have great eyes and eye-hand coordination, which apparently I no longer have now that I'm turning 46 tomorrow. This one also has options. You can make a smaller piece and a larger piece and attach them together. Sarah also shows us a few techniques or a few other options like adding beads, fringe. I might have made up the bead part, but I'm totally going to make one and put beads through. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, fringe. There were a few other things. You gotta go look in the ebook because she has tons of pictures. She's also got a video tutorial that's linked in the ebook, and she's got picture tutorials. You're not gonna have any problems making this and making it awesome. And then it looks really cool because it uses the single crochet that looks like an X instead of the two legs of the single crochet going down, they cross. So very fun. Oh, and then the sixth earring is my earring, and it is the Aster earring. Kind of dark, sorry. Light, not helpful. But this earring, our focus is, that's so weird that it's like the opposite. Our focus is there. Tunisian simple stitches and also short rows. We've got some short rows in the petals of this earring. I'm really excited about this one. I hope you guys like it. It's fun. You do not need any special hook to make this Tunisian petal for your flower. Just use your regular hook that you're using to crochet all the rest of your earrings. And hopefully it'll be fun. If you're a Tunisian expert, then hopefully you'll enjoy this. If Tunisian is new for you, hopefully you'll learn something that you like. So those are our earrings. That's what we're doing. We are gathering supplies, looking through the ebook, deciding what we want to do, figuring out colors, all that kind of stuff this next week until the 21st. On the 21st, we're going to start with our first earring, and that will be Natalia's framed blooms, and we'll spend 3 days on each earring, just like we did in the last crochet along. So we'll have one day, we'll meet the designer and start the earring. You can ask questions. We'll give you some tips for each of the earrings. We'll give you time to share pictures and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be super fun, and hopefully you will enjoy this and decide that crochet earrings are the best thing ever, because they are. So thanks, you guys. If you watch this later and you have any questions or you want to tell us something, pop your comments in. During the crochet along, you can post your earring pictures in the group as much as you want. You can ask questions about the ebook, about the crochet along, about the patterns. One of the features in the ebook also, forgot to mention, is we've got a little section at the end of each pattern that says, if you like this pattern, you might like, and there's 3 or 5 patterns from either the same designer or other designers in the book that we think have some similar characteristics to that pattern. So please check those out as well. And we're gonna have so much fun. Yay. All right, we'll see you guys in the crochet along, in here, I don't know, wherever.